Central Ward, Councilman Darren Sharif, spelled S-H-A-R-I-F. My name is Ronald C. Rice, and I am the West Ward Councilman in the City of Newark, spelled R-I-C-E. I'm going to get right to the point. The vote taken on last evening was not only illegal and unconstitutional, but it was a slap in the face to every resident and voter in the City of Newark. We have just come from an election with voter suppression and people who have anti-democratic ideals tried to steal an election for president, and they were unsuccessful. Likewise, this council, these group of council members believe that they are on bad grounds, legislatively, statutorily, and by law, in terms of how this election process actually occurred. Specifically, the mayor violated New Jersey statute annotated, Chapter 40:69A-41, which allows the mayor to vote only in the process if there is a tie for the vacancy vote. If there is a 4-4 tie, a 3-3 tie, the mayor can vote. There was no tie. The mayor's vote was illegal and against the state statute governing his appointment. The reality is that, secondly, to be specific, the mayor relied on a statute, 40:9A, which allows the mayor to vote in certain circumstances. The problem is that it allows the mayor to vote in certain circumstances unless otherwise provided by law. It is provided by law. 40:69A-41 is more specific than the statute that the mayor references as his power to do what he did, and specific construction, as any 1 year first L law school will tell you, specific construction of any statute trumps a general construction which the mayor's basis is on. Third, his statute represents number 1 and number 2. This city council is prepared to go to court to seek an order to show cause. We are on good moral ground, we are on good legal ground, because a similarly situated thing happened in Hoboken, where most recently Mayor Zimmer voted for the appointment of a councilperson in Hoboken, Mr. Doyle. There was also not a 4-4 tie or a tie of any significance. She then decided to place her vote, getting the necessary vote to make this person a councilman. The courts on yesterday struck that down. We are similarly situated, and we feel the court will strike this down as well. Fourth, the mayor used the city departments to carry out a political agenda. And let me be very specific about this. We are alleging that there is potential collusion with the Corporation Council and the clerk's office regarding this. Several points of law were explained to certain members of the city council regarding what the process should be, and certain other council people received other information regarding what pieces of statutory language apply in this particular vacancy. The reality is that the Corporation Council never met with the entire council on this, nor the clerk's office met with the entire council on this. Only some folks, not others. It appears that some folks on the city council are more equal than others. Lastly, there will be an opportunity for those of us that are here to have a rally next week, which we will give you the information about specifically. But let me just make this clear, and make this abundantly clear. This council worked well together for 6 years. We were together even when we were separated by opinion. What happened yesterday was a bull guard and a power grab by this administration on the second floor into the body of the third floor. Something that has not been seen in these chambers in decades. And the reality is this cannot stand, not when we have a mayor who promises and preaches progressive politics, inclusionary politics, and talks about this around the country, but denies democracy to the very residents who elected him and who he represents here at home. We're saying, simply put, allow the council to do our due diligence by virtue of the statute allows us to do, and after 30 days, if we do not come to a conclusion as an entire council, this thing can go to a vote by the people. Lastly, let me just say this quite simply. The mayor showed this in 2006. We had a similar situation. We had two candidates who wanted to be council president. And he used his ability to be conciliatory and to bring more light and peace to the situation. And the mayor promised and suggested that we should have a council president and a council vice president. That is working in the grounds and under the guise of good democracy. That is working in the realm of the guise of transparency and accountability. Not inserting yourself into a vote using precarious general statutory language to support that when there is specific language to directly violate that the courts have struck down in one other municipality just a day before. And so those are the things that we want to talk about. We want to bring Councilman Crump here to speak more specifically on the issue, and we will follow suit with Councilman Shreen and then Councilman Barak.
Good morning. I want to first thank Councilman Rice and my council colleagues for organizing this press conference. The truth must be told, and it must be told to the people who are watching each one of your channels today. There is a myth going around this country that Cory A. Booker, as mayor, has the interest of Newark at heart. That is not true. Ask any person on this corner, on the street corner, what is their opinion? That's right. Here in the city, we live with him. That's right. And so we know what he's doing, how he does it, and so we're here today to make clear, as a result of his actions yesterday, that he is not good for the city of Newark. I want to speak to the issue of a female, because that is one of the ruses that they use in terms of recommending mistakes. I know that everyone in the city of Newark who knows me know that yes, I desperately want to have another female. But I must tell you, it has to be the right female. It has to be someone who has integrity. Someone who will vote for conscience. Someone who will not be a stooge or speak out of out of noise.
Say it again.
What happened yesterday has divided this community like nothing I have ever seen since the riots of 1967.
Say it again.
The Portuguese on one side and the blacks and African Americans on the other side. And this is a result for a seat, for just one seat. So I say to you, as I stand before you, we're asking not just for the statute to be reviewed and injunctions to be declared. I am asking that we forward this manipulation of justice to the Attorney General.
That's right. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Somebody who was not afraid or intimidated by the money that Cory Booker has backing him. Last but not least, to those persons who are present on today, we thank you. We thank you for your presence, for not being afraid to show your face. The collusion that took place in last night should never have happened. And so, as we proceed, Councilman Rice and the three of us, the four of us, will be participating even further in bringing you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
There you go. Yes.
Good morning. First of all, I want to say how proud I am of all the Newark residents that despite the despicable event that occurred in this council chamber last night, and the phrase that I used had historical significance. I said this will be an act that lives in infamy. And I think as we get further away from what occurred yesterday, and I'm asking that this municipal council and the four members that didn't respect the process yesterday, I'm asking that we launch an immediate investigation on the council to find out what happened when and who knew what when.
Yes. Yes.
I had about 4 o'clock met with our corporation council on a separate matter. And the statute that that was sprung on us yesterday. She never shared that information with me, never mentioned a single conversation. This council, the clerk to the council, Bob Barrasso, when asked where he got the statute from, he said he got it from the Corporation Council. Now, all of us here know, the 4 council colleagues who were here, the 4 who were not here, there have been many occasions when prior to the council meeting, we got something last minute or something controversial from the administration. And what the normal practice is, the clerk calls us into his office to discuss what that item is. Never ever, prior to the meeting, did Bob Barrasso say to the council, I received a statute from the Corporation Council. It is important as a council prior to the meeting that we talk about this and what possible implications of it has. That's significant because that points to collusion between the clerk and the administration. And in truth, that's a serious matter. Now, I want to talk about this whole idea of quorum. The mayor, in his response, and it was online at NJ.com, he said that he jumped in because there was an absence of a quorum. The best I understand, a quorum is only used to start a meeting and to end a meeting. And if you look at the statute, it says that they rely on, it says in absence of insufficient voters. Well, there were 7 people when the clerk said, who's here? 7 people said that they were here. At that point, the mayor relied on his own statute, which is flawed and trumped, as Councilman Rice said, by more controlling statute. He was at the back of the room. Everybody saw him. He should have turned around and left because it didn't satisfy that requirement. The other requirement is that you have a tie. As we know, Councilman Rice wasn't here. And so 4 plus 4 equals a tie. So even if you rely on the statute that the mayor uses, none of those 2 criteria were satisfied. And so it should have ended right there. But when you look at that first criteria, the absence of a quorum, if we don't have 4 people, and it's happened once since I've been here for 2.5 years, we canceled the meeting. So if you don't have a quorum, there's no meeting, period. So he could have relied on that. So I want to say we're going to pursue this vigorously. And through Facebook and other social media, all of us have gotten tens of thousands of concerns and saying us to stay the course. And I say this to all of our residents in this city and all of the help, because it's not local. This is national. This mayor, as a Democratic